Good morning, everybody. We're going to work in here a little bit today, but I need to go work on my stairs and some stuff down in my house, and I'm going to do that this morning. I need to keep that project moving, and I know I need to work on these. So we've got a few service things to do yet. I sort of forgot yesterday about the fan drive, and we need to change the oil in the front hubs on this tractor. So we'll try and get those done this afternoon and see what else we can find to accomplish. But for now, I'm gonna go work in my house. All right, so we've got a little work to do on these steps. I need to clean the bottom ones off a little bit more, but we've got to finish this wood, the flooring that we laid, and the trim pieces here. I need to sand them off, get those water stains off of it. And I need to put a trim piece underneath here to cover up this edge. So that's my plan here for this morning, is to figure out this trim piece. We're gonna router this corner off because it's pretty sharp. So I brought a little round over bit and a router. We're gonna do that. And my goal for today or tomorrow is to get this stuff finished so I can stain it. So we got to finish taping some stuff off as well. The edge of this bullnose is not, doesn't have the finish on it. It's just a stain. And I've kind of decided that I'm going to try and sand these off a little bit where the edges were just off, like right there, there's a lip, but over here there's not. So I'm going to sand that. It's going to destroy the finish. We're going to have to fix it and redo it all, but I think it'll be worth it. So yeah, that's my plan. So first thing I'm going to do is get that router and fix the edge, or touch up the edge, I guess. Okay, I rounded that edge over, and I took some measurements of what I need for the trim piece that goes under there. I'm going to go back to the farm and get something made up. I think I'm just going to do a round over and try and match the trim profile and the shoe molding and stuff that they're putting on. That's the easiest, and I think it will look the best. So we're going to do that. The problem I'm going to run into is that some of my the wall is not straight. My boards are straight, the wall is not straight, and so the depth varies a little bit. So we're gonna have to tack it up there and then sand everything flush, and it's gonna take a little bit of time here. Well, here's what I decided to do, and I made up. So we've got some walnut pieces here, and I just rounded off this one corner, so we'll tack that up underneath that edge and sand it flush. The one by the stairs, to the left of the steps, that one, the top is a little bit different, so this one's got to cover the face edge up of it. There'll be a seam on the top instead of on the side. It's fine, but it's thicker, and I rounded off two corners of it. So I'm going to cut them to length, and then we'll take them down there and try and get them installed. I wanted to show you this. So my dad, I get questions about what he's been doing since we got done with the flooring stuff. Well, he's you got to understand how my dad works in his line of progression. So he needs to build some doors for his basement, for a utility room down there, a couple of sliding doors. And he's built doors in the past, but has decided that he needs a way to build them and assemble them better. So he has built what he is calling a door press. I don't know, whatever. And he decided he needed to build that to make the doors, and in order to build that and have somewhere to make it, he needed to finish this wall. And so he finished this wall and stained all the boards up. That's all red oak. He just used some different stains on it to get some different samples, or different things. He did that when we were picking out stain samples for the floor again there. He used a bunch of my rejects, I guess, up to make some different different colors and stuff. And then he had somewhere to mount his door press. Apparently you assemble it and put it on here, and then you can clamp the whole thing together. He's also got some other design plans for this. All these holes in these are so he can put some rollers or pegs in there and use it as a form for his boards when he's steam bending some stuff. He hasn't done any of that for a while, but I think he wants to do some more, and he thought that he could put pegs in different spots and use them to help secure the boards and form them. I don't know. We'll see how it works. It's cool. He gives him something to do, and it's a cool thing. So he's currently out planing some boards for something. He's been making this stuff. This is for a ceiling in his house, and he's got some other stuff over here that I'm not real sure what he's doing with, but whatever. He can do whatever he wants. Well, I got those trim pieces put in place, and I've done a lot of sanding because of the unevenness of this edge. And I've gotten it pretty close. Got a little bit more to do and some finer grit sandpaper and stuff. And I need to do a bunch of taping, put some tape underneath, and I need to finish taping off the steps, and I'm gonna go through and sand this edge. Although there's not much that needs done there. And then we got lots of cleaning to do. You can see the pile of stuff that I had to take off of this board using a hand plane. But we got it. It's messy. It's lunchtime. I should go work in the shop this afternoon, work on those tractors, and come back to this later tonight. All right, we are back in the shop here for a little while this afternoon. I'm gonna back this tractor up over here because we need to change the hub oil on the front of this tractor, and we got to remove the duals to do it and use the hoist, and a little more room to work would be nice. So okay, I am finally ready to work on these oil in these hubs here. So I cleaned the floor up a little bit more. I threw some oil dry down on all the oil that I spilled when changing the hydraulic oil and tried to clean up a little bit. And we got some blocking. We've got our 2 jacks. We got to lift both sides of the front end up. There's a little pocket in there for those to fit into, so I'm gonna get the air hose and we'll get the tires off the ground. Lifting one side makes the other side go up considerably, and since I only have one air over hydraulic jack, and the other one I have to hand pump, we lift it up a long ways with the air first, and then we stick the other one in there, which works fine as long as you remember to put the other one down first. Got air? Keepers. We're good. This one, a little more work, but we'll get it. There. So the reason that we need both sides off the ground is because with the differential in there, when I spin one side, the other side spins backwards. So I'll try and show you. Can I hold the camera out wide enough? See, I'm spinning these ones forward and the other ones are going backwards. So that's why, and we need to be able to rotate it to get the oil fill plug moved to the bottom and then to the side so we know how much to put in it. So this tire's got to come off. All right, so we're going to use our overhead crane to help support the tire, and we need to take it off right here. Do you think maybe I put the big old battery on. I've got to use the torque wrench to get them tight. So if this gets them off, then I can tighten them with that and use the torque wrench the rest of the way. Let's see what happens. Oh yes, should go work. That's incredible. I'm gonna get the tray to put the bolts on. That was awfully darn impressive. All right, so we're gonna set this out of the way, and I need a block. There's one over there, and we'll just lay this down, leave the strap on it, and get a different strap. But we need to not run our trolley off the end there. I think we'll be okay. But we need to get that spacer off as well, so I need to hoist for that. These ones feel a little tighter. It was going. Knocked the socket loose. Oh yeah. Takes it a second, but we'll get them. There we go. And we'll try to not drop that on my foot. Good thing it's got those ears on there. Okay. Now, we can take this spacer off as well. There will be 2 bolts left holding the inside wheel on. Or we can do like Brock did. He had a pretty decent idea. I don't know how well he did though. Put a piece of cardboard in underneath there, because then we got to rotate that plug down and all the oil comes draining out. And if you do it this way, it's going to all go inside. So, yeah. Let's see what I can do. That might work, but it's going to force oil that way. So I'm just going to take the spacer off. It's 4 more bolts. No big deal. And that one's light enough I can carry or move it by hand. All right, so I got an oil drain pan. And we've got our oil plug remover tool, a 1/2-inch breaker bar. And we're gonna pull that plug out and let this oil drain. This is 80-90 weight gear lube. It's thick stuff. And it kind of glugs out of there. I'm gonna loosen this center one up so that it can get some air. Maybe, if I can do it without spinning it. Maybe I'm not. Jeez. There it goes. Ugh. Okay. There. Now the oil will drain out faster. Put that there. Now we let that drain. We can't, well, we could take the tire off the other side, but we can't spin the other side to get this one down because it wouldn't let this one drain. Yeah, one at a time. This oil's pretty dark. This is one of those places that Brock said it was shiny and metallic, and I do see a little metallic streak in there. I'm not terribly concerned about it. The thing about these hubs is it's a planetary gear set and it's completely isolated from the rest of the tractor. So even if something did totally grenade in there and blow the whole thing up where you got to fix it, it's not going to hurt anything else in the process. And while I don't want that to happen, it seems not terrible. And, you know, what am I going to do? Preemptively replaced all the gears in there just because the oil's a little metallic-y after 1,500 hours? I'll take my chances, I think. Is it concerning? Yeah, sure. This isn't really. There's nothing in there that's causing any trouble. And I didn't see that stuff that Brock did up close. If there's big chunks in it, then obviously you're worried. But if it's just like this, and there's no noise, it's not grinding, it doesn't act funny, feels smooth when we turn it here, not terribly concerned about it. I got the bucket of 80-90 weight out. I think it takes like a gallon in there. I'm not 100% sure, but we should have plenty in that bucket, although that's the last bucket of 80-90 weight, so we need to get a new one on its way. We don't go through a ton of that in a year, but enough that we need to have it on hand. So I'm gonna let that drip for a little bit and we'll come back to it. While we're waiting for that to drain, we do need to grease this tractor yet, and part of greasing it includes the fan drive. I've had a lot of people commenting about, hey, don't forget the fan drive, or you didn't do the fan drive, or blah, 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 fan drive. And so, yes, we are greasing the fan drives. The reason that we did not grease the fan drive on the 8R is because last fall, we had some trouble with a cover in there with the water pump and stuff, and it all got replaced. The fan drive, the water pump, a valve cover, or not a valve cover, the timing chain cover, a lot of stuff. And the new part, I believe, and I need to double check this with the dealer, but I believe is dry and does not require annual greasing maintenance. This is not outlined in the book anyway. This is just something that if you know anything about them, you do it because, well, you'll have trouble if you don't. And I did it anyway, and we still had trouble, and so it is what it is. But yes, we need to grease this fan drive on this tractor. The other tractor did not require it. And so in order to do that, we've got to loosen up a bleed screw there, which allows us to open this shiv up for the variable speed there. Then we take the front half of this pulley off, and then there's a plug in there we got to take out. We got to put a grease zerk in, and it's kind of a complicated thing, but it starts with that bleed screw. So we'll start there. I got that open and you can hear it moving. Pull on the belt and you can really see it. Okay, now we can take those 6 bolts that are in there, take the front half of that pulley off. This is a spot where a electric ratchet would come in super handy. Too tight for my impact. Maybe a right angle impact would work, but a ratchet would work. Or I could just suck it up and be a man and use a ratchet to take 6 bolts out, you know. But that's no fun. That's like work. I don't want to do that. No. 6 bolts. Front half of a pulley. Okay, so there's what we're looking at. Did this one get changed? It doesn't look right. This doesn't look the same. I'll have to investigate a little more. So this looks different than when I've taken it off before, which makes me think that it's been replaced. And I don't remember having this up to the dealer to replace it, but I may be just forgetting. I know the other tractor was done last fall, so I called the dealer. I was going to ask them. I'm sure I have records of it somewhere, but it was easier just to call them and say, hey, did you guys do this, and does it need greased, and what do I do? And so they're going to call me back here in a minute, and we'll figure that out. But the thing is, so on the 8030 series through the new 8Rs, or I don't know about the new 8Rs, but the older 8Rs, there's like 5 or 6 different styles of that fan drive. The 8R is different than this one, or different than it was, and so they're all a little bit different. And some of them need grease and some of them don't, and I'm trying to remember. It is what it is. Okay, it's done dripping. Let's put the plug back in and start filling. Well, actually, we're not even going to put the plug back in. We're just going to start filling because we're going to... Oh, it's settled. We're going to lift it back up is what we're going to do. Get that tire off the ground. There we go. And put that somewhere around there. And then we're just going to put this funnel in and pour some oil in there. It needs to be higher than the bottom of this one, but we can get it up to there and then we'll worry about it because it's easier when you can judge. Yeah, you'll see. The oil don't move too fast. Well, the oil started coming out of the center hole there, so I put the plug in and I needed just a little bit more to get it up to the level line. So once this drains out, we'll roll the tire and check it a little bit, but we should be good here. So the idea is when that is level, you want the oil to be right there. About well, it's right there. Close enough for me. I'll put the plug in it. Go do the other side. Oh, we gotta put the tires back on. Spacer goes on first. Come on. And we're going to snug them with this. But then we'll get the torque wrench to do a final tightening. Better than having to get out the 1-inch air gun. And I do know that Milwaukee has a 1-inch electric. Be kind of nice. It's like $800 though. I don't really need it, so kind of hard to justify. All right, now it's time to torque them. 445 foot-pounds. This is kind of a two-person job, at least a two-hand job, but all for the YouTube. Okay, that one's good. I suppose I should check those ones, even though I didn't take them out. So we'll get all 6 of these, and then we'll put our spacer on. And now we'll get our tire hung back up there. All right, so before we just bolt this tire on there, obviously we've got to get it lined up. But Phil likes to have, and this is a good tip, pro tip. See that valve stem? Line it up with this one. So we're going to rotate our tire around until the valve stems are at least really close to being in the same spot. That way, they're easy to find. Not that these are hard, but they're easy to find when you go to check air pressures and stuff. Front tires, it's not as big a deal as the rear tires, but the rear tires, you've got a valve stem on the outside. The other one is on the inside. So see it down there? See that one down there? They're lined up. So wherever that one is, you know that the inside one is, and then you can find it. Because when it's clear up on the top inside there, real pain in the butt to get to. time. Oh, we're half done. In the meantime, I did get a call back from our John Deere dealer. You guys remember we took this tractor up there back in April? I totally forgot. But this engine dampener, this piece right here, maybe on the back. Was it that one or the one in the front and the one on the back? I think it was this one right here. The rubber in there gave out and we were having issues. And so we took it up there, and while it was there, they replaced the fan drive. I don't remember if it was the front one or the back one, actually. Yeah, so this is the updated version as well. It does not require greasing, servicing, anything. Neither does the driven side. It is the same as what is on the, well, I shouldn't say it's the same as what's on the 8R, but it's the same style, and there's no greaser. So those two tractors, we don't need to worry about them anymore. The only thing we need to do it on is the 9R, because I don't think that one's been updated. Although maybe, I don't know. Pretty sure not. So anyway, we're gonna put that back together, put our shields back in there, and then we're gonna take this side off and do it all over again. And I'm probably not gonna film it because I just showed you how it goes. Time to let her drain. Okay, front tires are back on, the oils are changed, the fan drive is back together, it's all done. I didn't get to greasing the ILS or the 3-point hitch, and we still have to clean it. Again, clean the cab out, shine the exterior. So those things are gonna happen next week. Didn't get done by Friday to this week like I had hoped to, but that's okay. We made some progress on both of these tractors this week. That's a good thing. I don't know if Brock's gonna be around next week at all or not. Hopefully he will be, and he can do a little bit of this stuff. I'm trying to think what else I got going on next week. I know I have a meeting Monday morning, so I'll have to do that. And I got to get these stairs done, so I'm going to work on them this weekend. Hopefully I'll get some of it done and be able to still work in the shop here next week. I'm sure I will some, it's just a matter of how much. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any questions and comments, leave them down below. As always, hit that like and subscribe button for me, please. Would very much appreciate it. And have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Thanks.